Hello and welcome again to my channel, Be Inspired. Today I will continue on another session in math tutoring related to orthonormal system tailored for students who are preparing for Lebanese official exams at a Brevet level. Let's go and find out what is the next problem or next question. In an orthonormal system of x's x prime o x and y prime o y, consider points a minus 1 and d the line of equation 2y minus x plus 4 equal to 0. So the first question is plot the point A and draw D. Before going to the orthonormal system graph, let me point out something on the line of equation D. Line of equation D is written in the Cartesian form. So therefore, in order to not to confuse you, let's write the equation 2y minus x plus 4 equals 0 in its reduced form. Means that find y or solve for y in terms of x. Let's go now to the orthonormal system and locate point A and draw D. So point A is cutting the x-axis at minus 1 and the ordinate at 0. So this is point A. Now, when we draw D, if we give 2 points that belongs to the straight line D, which satisfy the equation of 2y minus x plus 4 equals 0, it's enough for us to draw line D. So therefore, if we give a value 0 for x and solve for y, this is 1 point belongs to D. And on the other hand, if we give a value y equals 0 and solve for x, this is another point which belongs to D. So we have 2 points that belongs to D. We join them together and then we can draw line D in this way. So therefore, this is 0 or 4 and 0, this point 4 and 0. And this point is 0 and minus 2, join them together, it gives us the line D. Now, line D cuts the x's in B. So, cuts the x-axis in B. This is B. And the y-axis in C. This is C. So, therefore, B and C forms the line D. Prove that the two lines AC and BC are perpendicular. So we want to prove that AC is perpendicular to BC or AC is perpendicular to D. Point P is the intersection of line D with x-axis 4 and 0 like we said, and point C is the intersection of line D with y-axis C 0 and minus 2. So let's find the equation first of AC. We know that the form of equation or the reduced form of the equation AC is equal in the form of y equal ax plus b. We know that a is the slope of this straight line. So point A belongs to AC. So point A belongs to AC. So the coordinates of A should satisfy the equation y equal ax plus b. So we simply put 0 for y equal a into minus 1 for x plus b. It gives me a equal b. So we know that the slope of this straight line is b. So how to find a and b? We take another point C belongs to AC. C of coordinates 0 and minus 2. So 0 and minus 2 should satisfy the equation. So minus 2 is equal of y equal a into 0 plus b. It gives me a equal b equal minus 2. So therefore, the equation of AC is y equal minus 2x minus 2. So in order to prove that AC and BC are perpendicular, their slopes or the product of their slopes must be equal to minus 1. So the slope of AC times the slope of BC or D is equal to minus 1. So let's write the equation of line D in its reduced form in order to make comparison of the slopes, like I said earlier. Equation of D or BC is 2y minus x plus 4 equals 0, or 2y equal x minus 4, and y is equal half x or x over 2 minus 2. The slope is simply half, which is the coefficient of x. Equation of AC, we just found it, the slope is minus 2. So is the product half times minus 2 equal to minus 1? Yes. So therefore, AC is perpendicular to BC. Let's go to another question. So let D prime be the line passes through point A and parallel to line D. So let's see this on the orthonormal system. D, and then we draw a line D prime, okay, parallel to D. Now, D prime telling me cuts the y-axis in E. So this is point E here. Calculate the coordinates of point E. So how to find the coordinates of point E? Equation of D prime is in the form again of y equal x plus b, slope equal a. Equation of D is y equal half x minus 2 with a slope equal half. So D prime and D are parallel. So their slopes are equal. So the slope of D prime is equal to the slope of D is equal to half, 1 over 2. Because line D and D prime are given parallel. So equation of D prime simply is, or before we find the equation, we need to find B. B is, we take a point A which belongs to D prime. A of coordinates minus 1 and 0, minus and 1 and 0 satisfy the equation. So I put 0 for y. I have the slope is equal 1/2 and the abscissa minus 1, so I can solve for B. So B is equal half. Then the equation of D prime is equal y equal half x plus half. So D prime cuts y-axis in E, therefore the abscissa of E is 0, right? If it is cuts the y-axis, its abscissa is 0. If I put 0 here, I can find y because E satisfies the equation of line D prime. So if I put 0, y is equal to half. So the coordinates of E are 0 and half. So E is 0 and half. Denote by D a point of coordinates 0 and 4. So D here is 0 and minus 4. So 0 is abscissa, minus 4 is the ordinate. Calculate the coordinates of point M so that the quadrilateral ABMD is a parallelogram. So we simply, if ABMD is a parallelogram, means M is the third vertex of this parallelogram. So A is the first vertex, B the second, M is the third, D is the fourth. So it should be then AB is parallel to DM and BM is parallel to AD. So therefore, I will draw a line BM, a line parallel to AD, and another line from D parallel to AB. Where they meet is point M. It's going to be a point M. So calculate the coordinates of this point. How to calculate the points of M? If ABMD is a parallelogram, then like I said, AD is parallel to BM and DM is parallel to, or DM cuts the y-axis in -4. Therefore, the coordinate or the ordinate of M is -4. Good. So I found the ordinate. Now, how can I find the abscissa of point M? Good. Let's find slope of this equation of this line AD. If I have 2 points, can I find the slope? Yes, or the director coefficient. We call it sometimes director coefficient is the slope of AD. So it gives me, if I have 2 points, the ordinates of this point minus the ordinates of that point over the abscissa of this point minus the abscissa of that point will give me the slope of AD. Find it here, calculate it, and it gives me the slope of AD -4. So slope of AD equal then the slope of BM equal -4. Why? Because AD and BM are parallel. Okay, let's continue to the other section of this. So equation of BM is in the form of y equal AXB. And I know the slope of BM, and I know another point that belongs to BM, which is B. So all of these should satisfy the equation. If you notice here, I put 0 because B of 4 and 0 belongs to M. -4 into 4 plus P equals 16. So the equation of line BM is equal -4x plus 16. Now, if I know the ordinate is -4, okay, can I find the abscissa? Yes, I put -4 equal -4x plus 16. Why I did this? Because M belongs to BM. Therefore, x is equal -20 over -4. It gives me the abscissa of M 5. So if I take 5 here, draw a line parallel to y-axis and take D, where they meet, it would be point M. So M has coordinates 5 and -4. Okay, it's telling me let point I be the center of the parallelogram ABMD. What do they mean by the center? So the center is the meeting point of the diagonals of the parallelogram. So this is point I. Now, what is the image of I by the translation vector of DI? So DI is the vector, I is the midpoint of DB, so therefore the image of DI is simply IB. Okay, calculate the coordinates of I. Okay, very good. How to calculate the coordinates of I? We know that I is the midpoint of DB. So what is the coordinates of a midpoint? Is the abscissa of this point, Z, or plus the abscissa of that point divided by 2. So this will give me the abscissa of I is 2. And similarly, for its ordinate, the ordinate of this point plus the ordinate of D divided by 2 give me the ordinates of I. So therefore, the coordinates of point I are 2 and minus 2. 2, here is 2, and here minus 2, they meet here. If you want also to check your answer, you can use the I as the midpoint of AM, and you will find that again that coordinates of I are 2 and minus 2. Thank you very much. This is our next session. Hope you like it, and if you like it, please mention it so that encourage me to give you more videos. Thank you so much.